Hey guys, today I'm back with another Call of Duty mobile weapon review, and today I'm going to be having a look at the AK-47. Specifically, I wanted to show you guys the new blue steel skin. So you get the skin by, if you have the battle pass, getting to level 50, and I think it's a fantastic looking skin. And also, like the other epic tier AK-47 skins, it also has a bit of a range boost, which is nice for a weapon that's already pretty good at long range. I see this weapon picked quite a lot in my games, and I wanted to see how it stacked up to the rest of the assault rifles. So as usual, to do that I'll be looking at the stats, class setup, and a few tips for the gun as well along the way. Before I go on any further though, I'd like to say a big thank you for getting my last video to 100 views. That's been awesome, thank you guys for the support, and if you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So first up we'll look at the damage and range of this gun, and this is the area where you'll see the difference between the AK-47 Steel Blue and the normal AK-47. It has that perk on it that says increases weapon firing range, so basically when you level up your gun to level 11, when you play multiplayer games, this is ranked and public, you'll get a slightly better range for this gun. The standard AK is a 4-shot kill out to 35 meters, but something to note is that from 0 to 30 meters the gun actually does do more damage than 30 to 35 meters. If you're just getting body shots, this won't make a difference, but if you can hit one headshot in the 0 to 30 meter range, you will get a faster kill. The Steel Blue AK increases the 4-shot kill range to 40 meters, so you're getting a little bit of a boost there. After that, both versions of the AK will take no more than 5 shots to kill, and that means you're getting a pretty fantastic range on both of these guns. I know some people argue that the extended range perk is a bit pay to win, and some people argue against that, but honestly I can kind of see both sides of it. It does give you an advantage, but it's a very small one at best. And if you guys play many like tournaments or scrims, you'll see that sometimes, because they take these things very seriously, they actually ban legendary or epic skins and they only let you use the lower rarity ones. Just so you guys know, there is actually a free AK skin that you can grind for that gives you the same range boost, so maybe that's Activision Tencent sort of response to this. Next up, we'll have a look at rate of fire. The AK-47 shoots at 550 rounds per minute, which is pretty slow for this game, and overall that gives you a sort of medium-ish time to kill, which is not great but not terrible, due to the below average rate of fire, but above average range. Just for a quick comparison, the rate of fire is kinda halfway in between the ICR and the post-nerf ASM-10. Anyways, we'll move on to recoil now, and this is another category where this gun really shines. Normally, the recoil is already pretty good for the AK, but if you put a grip on it, you'll be pretty much straight laser beaming people across the map. What I mean by that is that it's a very point and shoot weapon, so all you gotta do is aim at your enemies, pull the trigger, and you barely have any work to do to compensate for recoil. It's a very easy gun to keep on target, so especially at long range, you'll see the benefit of that, and you'll get kills probably faster than the time to kill might feel. Like the HBRA3 in my last video, it kicks more up than side to side, so all you really have to do is pull down and it won't jump around too much. Finally, I'll go over the handling stats for you guys real quick, so that's like your movement speed, whether aiming or not aiming, and also the reload time. For this, the AK is slightly below the average for assault rifles, but it's still pretty good, maybe slightly worse than the HBRA3 and slightly better than the BK-57. Again, like I've said in some earlier videos, that's pretty good for this game. Assault rifles handle pretty well, so you shouldn't have to worry too much there. Anyways, now that I've done all the stats, let's have a look at some of the good and bad for this gun and how you can play with it. I would describe the AK as a medium to long range assault rifle, and it's probably best in that 20 to 40-ish meter range, or 20 to 35 if you've just got the normal skin. Assault rifles normally kind of drop off around 20 meters, and they've already started becoming a 5, and then beyond that even a 6-shot kill. Now with the AK-47, you've still got a 4-shot kill at those ranges, so that gives you a pretty good time to kill. That, combined with the low recoil, makes this a really strong gun for that sort of range, and that's where I believe it does its best work. Most likely, you'll barely be taking any gunfights past that sort of 35 to 40 meter range, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Just keep your enemies at a distance and you'll be just fine with this weapon. One other thing to mention, if you hit one headshot within the first 30 meters, it will give you a 3-shot kill, and that is an absurdly fast time to kill overall, which can make you absolutely dominate at close quarters. This is something you can go for if you're confident. Again, it's kinda hard to do all the time, but that's just something to keep in mind. Overall, I consider this gun a good, but not quite excellent assault rifle. It is still beaten out by things like the HBRA3, BK-57, and KN-44, but it's still very viable and ranked. Those are really strong weapons you're competing with, so that doesn't make this a bad gun at all. Specifically, if you're taking a lot of very long range fights, I would say it's even better than those guns, but the nature of this game is that most of your gunfights are at close range, and those guns do beat it out by time to kill. At close ranges, time to kill is king, and you will feel this weapon losing out noticeably to those other guns. Finally, just for the last section of this video, I'm going to go through my class setup. It's a fairly stock standard one, but it is one that I firmly believe in, so I'll show you guys right now. To start with, I'm running the red dot sight on this gun because that's pretty much my standard for all assault rifles, but honestly, this is one of those weapons where all three optics are viable. The iron sights are not too bad, they're pretty open. I would say the best AK iron sights are the ones on the tank skin. I really like them, they're really nice, and also, because this is a long range, low recoil assault rifle, you can use the tac scope as well. For the other attachments, I've got quick draw first, so that lets you start aiming at your enemies faster and start shooting them faster to kill them faster, so pretty much that on every single gun. Foregrip is really good for this weapon. It makes a big difference with the recoil and will really help at that sort of optimal range that I feel you should use this at. Finally, for the last attachment, extended mag, I really like it so you can keep sort of laying down fire at long range, and sometimes at those sort of ranges you'll miss more shots, so if you can just keep shooting you will pick up more kills. Stock is also a good choice there. If you guys watch a lot of my videos, you probably kind of know by now that those sort of 4 attachments are the ones I recommend on almost every weapon. I believe they are the 4 strongest in the game, so feel free to mix and match them as you please. One other interesting option for this weapon is actually the suppressor. Because the 4-shot kill range is so long, the suppressor doesn't really have too much of an effect on your gameplay, so if you want to go stealthy, this is honestly not a bad weapon to duel with. For the perks, firstly in the red slot I've got Agile, so that lets you just, if you're caught in a fight at close range which you don't want to be, that just gives you a slight edge there. What this perk does is just mainly decrease your sprint out time, so you can go from sprinting to aiming to shooting faster, and I believe it's a really good choice for this class. In the second perk slot, I've got Toughness, so again, that's an awesome medium range perk. If you're taking a bit of fire and shooting at someone as well, then it just helps you keep on target a little bit more, which will matter a lot with this weapon. You're trying to maximize that time to kill at mid range. Lastly, in the blue perk slot, I've got Hardline, so with this weapon you can kind of sit back a little bit more, play a bit more passively, and just build up those score streaks to really help your team, especially in ranked. So I believe that's also a good choice for this class. Dead Silence of course is great as well. If you want to run that, then go for it. The lethal and tactical are pretty much just your preference, but that does bring us to the end of today's video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and I hope you like the skin too. If you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll be back with more. I'll see you guys in the next one.